thing holding you back isn't your circumstances, but your embarrassment. Imagine walking into a restaurant wearing the most hideous, mismatched outfit possible, and every eye's on you. Do you shrink down and hope nobody notices, or do you strut in like you own the place? The answer just might reveal how you're living your entire life. Welcome to the Say Yes Experience. Hi, friend. My name is Jessica Rector. If you've been here before, welcome back. If this is your first time joining us, welcome, new friend. Let me ask you something. How much of your life is being controlled by what other people might think of you? Do you avoid things because you're worried about looking silly, being judged, or standing out too much? If so, today's episode is for you. On day 11 of my 100 Days of Say Yes experiences, we went to a thrift store. So B and me picked out the most outrageous outfits for each other and then wore them to dinner on Mother's Day. So when we were in the thrift store, there were no vetoing, no opinions. You literally had nothing to say. You just had to watch what they were going to pick out. It might sound silly, I know, but here's where things get interesting because the clothes weren't just clothes. They exposed two completely different mindsets about embarrassment. But what happened that night was a powerful reminder about confidence, freedom, and the courage to live your life on your own terms. And I want you to see how these lessons can change the way you show up in your everyday life. Let's go. So, day 11 of 100 Days to Say Yes experiences, we walked into a thrift store. Now, the rules of this one was that Blaze was going to pick out my outfits. I was going to pick out his outfits, and then we would wear the outfit out to dinner for Mother's Day. Now, there was no vetoes. You couldn't have a say in what the other person was going to pick out. You just had to watch them and hope that they weren't picking out anything too bad. So it was interesting as Blaze picked mine out first. He was just holding up different shirts and different pants, and I kept thinking, "No, not that one. No, not that one." I did tell him, "Buddy, you have to stay in my size because although you may not want me to wear something, it still's gotta fit me." And so he would pick up some more and pick up some more. And at first, he actually picked up something that wasn't too bad. I mean, it was kind of a darker red color, which he knows I love red. The style wasn't exactly on par, but it wasn't horrible. And then it kept getting like worse and worse. And then, of course, when he saw what I picked out for him, he was like, I'm going back. And he wanted to pick out something way worse for me. So for him, I picked out, now keep in mind, he is normally in head to toe Under Armour stuff or like sports type clothes. So I picked out a long sleeve, bright red button down shirt. He is not into the button down, especially not long sleeve. He doesn't like polo type shirts, nothing like that. Whenever I would dress him when he was younger, I always loved those, but he hasn't worn those in a few years. So red, and then this bright multicolor tie dye shirt that was like lime green, bright blue, bright yellow, orange, bright pink, and it had to go over the long sleeve red button down shirt, which they didn't match, and then these gray slacks. And he was like, and he also had to wear his hair back. So right now he wears his hair where his bangs are a little bit like in the face, kind of over to the side, but they're kind of longer. And so we had to wear it all back where I could see his cute face. He was hating every second of it. My attire was interesting. He picked out these dark leggings that are not those like real tight leggings, or kind of like looser fitting. And they had maroon and like a mustard yellow in them. And then he also picked out these white pants that had kind of a greeny turquoise maroon colors in them. I pinned those pants up to make them look like shorts so you could still see the dark leggings underneath. Then he picked out an olive color shirt that was like a like a that baby style where it's kind of really big and it had cutouts everywhere. And then a muted brown sweatshirt. I was sweating desperately for all my ladies in perimenopause and menopause. You can probably identify with hot, hot, hot. And especially because it's summertime when we're doing this. So I was sweating before we even left the house. And I had these bright neon lime green heels, strappy heels on too. Eesh. Anyways, and so we got dressed, and when we got out of the car, Blaze was dreading every second of it. We were going out to dinner for Mother's Day, dreading every second of it. He pretty much just wanted to sit in a corner and hide. Whereas I went in and I just owned it. I was like, "Yep, okay, classy in this outfit." I knew, I knew it didn't match. I knew it clashed. I did not feel comfortable in this outfit, but I went in there just confident. I'm just going to own it like I own the place. Let's go, kind of thing. And Blaze went in, "Don't look at me. Like, I don't want to be seen. I just want to hide. I just want to be over in a corner." And the interesting thing that happened, want your event to do more than just motivate? Want it to transform? Hi, I'm Jessica Rector, CEO of the Say Yes Experience, #1 best-selling author, and the keynote speaker and experience creator companies call when they're serious about change. I don't just speak, I'm known to move people. From the main stage to custom Say Yes Experience team building events, your group will crush comfort zones, ignite connection, and fuel mental wellness and peak potential, all while having the kind of fun that actually sticks. Whether it's a leadership summit, company offsite, or all hands meeting, we bring immersive, energizing experiences that unlock what's next for your people and business. So if you're ready to ditch burnout and lead your team into bold action and a Say Yes culture, book me now at jessicarector.com or email me at jessica@jessicarector.com. And hey, subscribe to the Say Yes Experience podcast right here. It's where the movement starts.
You've heard of a bucket list, things you want to do before you die, right? At the Say Yes Experience, we believe in something truly more powerful, the Say Yes bucket list, the things you want to do to truly start living. It's about feeling alive, breaking out of routine, and turning someday into right now. We've created a free Say Yes bucket list template to help you get started, so you can move to ideas to action and start saying yes to light the things that light your fire. So don't wait to truly start living, and download your free template today.
and the interesting thing that happened, once we sat up waiting for a seat for a while, but once we sat down, it all just erased from our minds. We didn't think about it anymore. He wasn't self-conscious. He wasn't, wondering what people were thinking or anything like that. We had a really great meal. And then when we were leaving out in the parking lot, we were taking pictures, and he literally was like, "Mommy, I don't want to take pictures. Can we just go? I just want to go. Can we just take pictures?" And of course, I was like, "Buddy, the longer that you complain about it, the more you're not smiling, the longer we're out here taking pictures. So let's just smile, take a couple pictures, we'll be done before you know it." But then like cars would walk by, and he's like, "I don't want. So just a lot of stuff going on and different things to unpack when you're thinking about doing something like this. Not that you're necessarily going to go and do this, but when you're thinking about the different kinds of discomfort, embarrassment, judgment slash embarrassment comes up a lot. And how we're showing up in life can also be dictated by our sense of embarrassment. So, a few things to think about here is whenever we were walking through the thrift store, it was really unnatural and uncomfortable for me not to say, Blaze, no, 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 no. No, I don't like that. What about this? And really control the situation and really guide him to what I wanted him to choose and not what he wanted to select. And if you reverse it, it was the same thing for him, even as a kid. He already knew his style, he already knew what he liked, he already knew how he wanted to show up. And anytime that I would hold something up, he would be big eyes, wide mouth, like, no, do not pick that. And so, lack of control is unnerving, especially when it directly impacts us, meaning someone's picking out your outfit, you have to wear it, that directly impacts you and the embarrassment or judgment, the story that you're telling yourself based on that. So think about that in your life. It may not have to do with clothes, but think about when you're with someone and you're both going out to dinner or you're going and playing top golf or you're going into work together. If they say something that you think is not appropriate, that the way they look is not the style that you would portray, or they behave in ways that you think are out of the ordinary, a little odd, a little different. Do you think that that's a reflection of you? Do you feel like you're going to be judged by that? Because you can't control what someone else is doing, whether that's a family member, whether it's your kid, your spouse, a coworker. You can't control what they're doing. You can't control what they're saying. You can't control what they're thinking. And so when you're around others and you're not able to control them, how does that make you feel? Do you yourself feel like you're out of control? Do you feel anxiety, nervous? Do you get embarrassed because you're not able to control them? I remember when I was younger, I got embarrassed just because I had parents, right? Like we had our parents dropping us off at the corner and we would walk. Everyone had parents, but yet we were embarrassed by our parents. I know I can't be the only one that experienced that. It's kind of a rite of passage when you're 12, 13 years old. I mean, just ask my son Blaze. He gets embarrassed by me. He does not think I'm the cool mom. And I have to remind him, your friends think I'm the cool mom. You just don't think I'm the cool mom. I would get so embarrassed by my parents and I couldn't control how they were dressed or what they were going to say or how they were going to act, and it was like, "Oh my gosh, just be chill, just be cool." And my parents didn't do half of what I do, right? Or even a fraction of what I do. So I can only imagine Blaze is like, "Oh my gosh." And so think of that in your life now, though. Are you still around people that you get embarrassed by, that you get uneasy being around because of how they're showing up? And so it makes you hesitant to be around them or to open up to them or to talk to them. And what can you do to have that embarrassment subside so you don't feel that way?
The Say Yes experience is the movement that helps you adapt to change, enhance mental wellness, and stretch into what's possible. We tailor every experience to your specific challenges and goals, whether that's preventing burnout, building resilience, or creating a culture of bold action and connection. Whether it's a getaway with your friends or creating something for small teams to an entire organization, this is where transformation begins. Say yes to growth. Say yes to a custom experience designed just for you. Let's build and develop your own Say Yes experience at jessicarector.com.
This episode is sponsored by.
Wish you could hit pause, catch a breath, and leave the rat race behind for a while? You can. Come check out Breakspace, a global community where mid-career professionals just like you are creating life-changing breaks every day. Founded by two leading break experts, this one-of-a-kind resource is your go-to for all things career break. With hands-on coaching, dynamic courses, and genuine connection, you don't have to go at it alone. Visit gobreakspace.com to learn more and join today.
Realizing that you're not able to control other people. And if you're always feeling uneasy, anxious, mad, frustrated around these people, why do you choose to continue to be around them instead of being around people that you're excited about, that you don't need to control, and you can still feel yourself and be okay and feel at ease and feel peaceful and, just calm when you're around them, because no one wants to be around people who are negative and embarrassing and or turn the tables. They're actually judging you. And so you don't want to be around people who you can't show up and be your best self with, that you can truly be you with. So when you're thinking about embarrassment, when you're thinking about being around these people, is it really about what they're doing, or is it the story that you're telling yourself that other people may be judging you for what they're doing? And how can you shift that? Because it's really about your insecurity. It's about you being self-conscious and you not being confident in who you are and saying, this is my friend. Just because my friend thinks that way doesn't mean I think that way. Just because my spouse shows up like that doesn't mean I'm going to show up like that. Just because, my coworker is saying that doesn't mean that I think that. And that it's not a reflection on you. You're only in charge and responsible for yourself. Unless you're playing the parent role in that exact moment, then you're also responsible for your kids as well. So, when was the last time that you were self conscious and letting self consciousness steal the joy from you? And if you think of that, what would it take to shift that? Where you're not self-conscious, where you're showing up confident, like you own the place, like I got it, like it doesn't matter that I don't look like someone else, that I don't behave like other people, that I'm different, I'm unique, I'm showing up as me, whatever that looks like, that you have your own unique sense of self and your energy, and you're expressing yourself in the way that fits with who you are and who you want to be. Because also, when you're not confident, it's a lot harder to show up as who you really are. If you're feeling nervous, if you're feeling like you're being judged, if you're feeling that embarrassed, if you're worried about the person that you're with or what other people are going to think, you're not showing up in your confident, full self. So, how can you start to let those things go and start taking on, it doesn't matter what they think. What it matters is how I'm showing up. And it's also a reiteration to not take yourself so seriously, that you can let loose, let go, and have fun. This was really us doing something different that stretched ourselves in the embarrassment, judgment category and really said, okay, do we care what other people think? And it's an interesting concept, right? Because keynoting, I put myself out there thousands of time in front of hundreds and thousands of people. So you would think rejection, embarrassment, judgment wouldn't really bother me, right? Because every time I get up to keynote, there's a chance of rejection. Every time I get up to keynote, there's lots of chances of judgment, but I get up there anyway. But I'm in front of hundreds and thousands of people. But yet, one on one, the judgment feels differently. It's more intimate. And that intimate judgment almost feels more personal. The intimate judgment feels scarier, feels more hurtful than in a room full of 1,000 people. And so, what does that mean? What does that say? That doesn't mean that I'm not confident. I am confident whenever I'm showing up. But we all inherently want to be liked for who we are, and that we don't have to pretend or portray ourselves to be anyone or anything different than who we actually are. But there's a fine line between being who you are, having your opinions and your ideas. There's a fine line between that and stepping into that and saying, I don't care what other people think, because you still have to get paid, right? You still have to make money. You have to make income. Depending upon your job, if you toe the line too much, they may not like what you're saying, who you are, how you're showing up. So it's also important to find a job that is in alignment with you being able to show up who you are, that sees value in your opinions and your ideas and what you bring to the table, and that you don't have to pretend to be someone that you're not, that you can truly just be you. And deep down, we all want to be liked. We all want to be liked. We all want people to say, I see you, I understand you, I get it, you matter, you have value. We all want that, and it's okay to want that. But just don't let wanting it so much outweigh who you are, that you give up part of who you are, or you stop listening to who you are and you start being someone else, someone that you look in the mirror and don't recognize one day because you're trying to please other people, or you're focused too much on being perfect and what are other people going to say and what other people are going to think, that when you start to really look at yourself, you don't know who you are. You don't recognize yourself because you didn't used to be like that. You didn't used to say that. You didn't used to think that. And now you are. Even if you want to be liked, you have to still be true to yourself in order to really reach your potential and build and create the dreams and the life that you want. You can't pretend to be anybody but who you are, because who you are has value. Who you are matters. Who you are is important, and that's who the world needs right now, is just you being you. You lean into those things that bring you discomfort, like stepping out in a crazy, interesting outfit. I encourage you to do this. I encourage you to go to a thrift store. Buy something that is completely nothing like you would wear, and then wear it. In fact, take a friend with you, take your child with you, take your spouse, and you each can pick out the other one. The most unusual, crazy, bizarre, something that you would never pick out for yourself. That's the rule. And then you each wear it and then go out for the night, or go out to a busy place, because you'll either shy away and say, I don't want to be seen, or you'll go in and own the place. And my hope is that you go in and own the place as a confident, amazing person that you are. Because when you go in and own the place, others see your strength. They see that instead of awkwardness. They see that instead of the weird outfit. They see that energy, that aura that you exude, and it becomes contagious. It's almost like you'll attract people to you, not from the outfit, the crazy, weird, fun outfit, but because of the energy and the confidence that you have. And in the process, you'll be living freely, caring less about approval and the more about the joy inside. You'll be having a lot of fun, and you'll be creating some really incredible, great, funny memories as well. Because here's the thing, you get to decide how you're showing up. It's about clothes, and it's so much more than that. You get to decide if you're showing up with guilt, if you're showing up with shame, if you're showing up with insecurities, if you're showing up with self doubt, if you're showing up with second guessing, if you're showing up with that past story that you've been telling yourself, you get to dictate how you show up. Or are you showing up strutting yourself, confident, bold, big, brave, secure? How are you going to show up? Not just with crazy, fun, interesting clothes on, but how are you going to show up for yourself, for your family, in your career, for your friends, in life? How are you choosing to show up? Because every single day you have a choice in how you're going to show up. And it's those small decisions that you make every day that become the bigger choices that are your life. So, friend, keep showing up as your awesome, best, amazing, confident, bold, courageous self because that is who the world needs.
Hey, I'm Blaze, and the CS experience was my idea. I created it to help my mom, Jessica Rector. When she was traveling and keynote speaking a lot and on the verge of burnout, I wanted her to say yes to herself, to joy, and to what's possible. What started out with me helping her find a new ice cream around town had turned into a movement. So together we wrote this book, The Say Yes Experience, with 52 powerful tips to help you prevent burnout, strengthen your mental health, and live intentionally. Step outside your comfort zone. One tip, one small shift, one big impact. Ready to say yes to a better you? Grab the Say Yes Experience at jessicarector.com/store.
Burnout isn't just exhaustion, it's a warning sign that something needs to change. 90% of the workforce has been in burnout in the last year alone, according to Gallup, and it's not going away anytime soon. It's even impacting the home life, but it doesn't have to be that way. In my powerful book, Blaze Your Brain to Extinguish Burnout, 52 Keys to Prevent, Breakthrough, and Beat Burnout, I show you how to take back control, reignite your energy, and transform overwhelm into opportunity. Backed by research and real-life strategies, this isn't just another self-help book. It's your guide to lasting change, mental wellness, and saying yes to the life you deserve. Ready to break the burnout cycle? Grab Blaze Your Brain to Extinguish Burnout today at jessicarector.com/store. If you want to get a copy for your team or all your employees, reach out to me directly for rates at jessica@jessicarector.com.
Here's what I hope you take away from today's episode. Embarrassment is temporary and memories are forever. Some of the best memories I have are the ones where I got rejected, when things didn't work out the way I wanted them to, when my plans blew up in front of me. And if everything always worked out the way that I wanted it to work out, I probably wouldn't have so many fun and funny memories that I currently have. So the more you say yes to fun, to freedom, to not caring what others think, the more you'll start living your life for you. So the next time you feel that little voice saying, "What will people think?" I want you to hear another voice instead, reminding you to choose joy, confidence, and yes. Start living by the mantra, "I don't care what people think," and start living life on your own terms and for yourself. Blaze and I recently went to meet the teacher night, and the next day, his teacher came up to him and said, "I like your mom. She's crazy." So, of course, I asked B, "What do you think your teacher meant by that?" And B said, "Well, you do crazy things." And for a moment, I thought, do I? Really? Do I do crazy things? Because for me, that just means I'm showing up as my true self, that I have fun, that I do things that maybe others won't do, because I also recognize that I only have this one life to live. And I want to make sure that I'm living it and I'm living it to my best possible ability. So if you want to get the most out of this life too, because you only have one life to live, start with our Say Yes Guide. It's free, it's simple, it's easy, and it's the absolute best way to get you started saying yes today in a fun, easy way. You can find it at sayyesexperience.com. Again, that's sayyesexperience.com because we want you to say yes to those little things in life so you can start saying yes to the bigger opportunities that present themselves. Until next time, my friend, keep saying yes to yourself and to the life that's waiting for you. I believe in you.